Hey yo, Gaming Bronc here with another episode of Cities Skylines Broncville, and we have some major traffic issues going on. Um, well, let's start. I left you last time after I redid some intersections in my industrial zone, and once it got up and running, it just turned to crap. And the reason for it was that I had the off ramps on the left hand side, the on ramps on the right hand side. So people were changing lanes, and it just turned into a nightmare. So I redesigned the whole thing with two on ramps coming from the right and one off ramp going into the right hand side. So a little bit more traditional. I thought off ramps on the one side and on ramps on the other might work. And it still might in a different configuration, but that roundabout idea that I had just wasn't functional. I actually bulldozed the whole section and redeveloped to kind of mimic our deal over here with the one in, one out, one ways coming off the highway, no zoning on the highway. So kind of to mimic that, and it seems to be working rather well. I do get a little buildup back here, but these little factories back here aren't. I mean, they don't have as big a demand right now, so. I think it's working well right now, and there are 4 exits from within here to get to the tunnel that gets out of here, and there's one right there, 2 right here where this side, and I did some tweaking with my Traffic mod, where this side only exits to this side, and coming down this way only exits that way. So there's the 2 exits there, and then I have an exit up here, which is also feeding a bunch of traffic. So, yeah, completely redesigned the industrial area, and I extended the zones of influence to cover the ore and the lumber industrial areas as well. And then I got over here and I built a little tunnel underneath so that I could get access to more of this lumber specialization, and kind of did this up like a, I don't know, kind of looks like a Minnesota timber area. Maybe a few more paved roads than Minnesota has for timber. No, that's not true. Minnesota's fairly well developed. Let's not get carried away. But just kind of redid that to look like a frontier timber industry. You know, the palm trees really take away. I should really go through and delete palm trees, but for right now, that's fine. I'm not going to get too particular in that. Otherwise, I could spend this whole episode deleting individual palm trees, which would suck. So maybe I'll do that on my own time here as well. But yeah, so we got a huge industrial demand still, and that's not going away anytime soon. I don't see it. So we've got a lot of work to do in industry yet. So I imagine that now would be as good a time as any to kind of go after and do a little bit more industrial work. Let me double check here what I have for, oops, what am I on? Oh, gravel road. No wonder I can't do nothing. I want to just look underground here and see if it'll be possible for us to take this big 6-lane road into a tunnel and get over here. Where eventually we'll obviously have more highway connections, but for right now a tunnel would probably suffice us just fine. This is quite a busy road, even though I kind of sparsed out those industries, but that's why I made that dirt road. Let's see. Ooh, we're getting a little traffic there, but those tunnels are all moving quite well. That's really looking good. Oh, we had a building burn down. It is pretty rare for an industry out here to burn down lately. I noticed that I am having a number of buildings over here burn down, become abandoned, etc., etc. And I discovered the reason through observation and using Traffic and my, what do they call this thing? I'll call it the Traffic Watch tool or whatever. But I have a huge problem here with my traffic in the circle because I did not lay out the roads properly. I really have a problem in the circle now. And it's not the inside of the circle at all that's the problem. What I have here is an input-output problem into the circle and out of the circle, where I created the main avenues coming out at the 90-degree intervals that dissect the circle, which has created a huge problem. Because what you'll see is, if I click here, and I look at people coming in here, they're almost all coming from the main avenue that's coming straight from the residential areas. They're coming in and doing their shopping because this is our major, huge commercial district. And then so they come in here and then they're all trying to come back out the same way. Because what I created here, get out of that tool, what I created here is a huge problem. So I got traffic meeting a one-way going to the right and a one-way coming at it. And then so everybody here is turning right, which in itself is not the problem. Okay, everyone here is turning right. Then they're coming up here to this intersection and turning left to find the one-way here. And then some of them peel off, but I also got traffic coming from over here and over here, because this is a two-way street, meeting at this intersection one way to get into Woodland Square. And then at this intersection, you can see I got very little traffic coming down this road, so that's not a huge problem. But what is when these guys turn right to get on Woodland Square and come around, and they do their shopping, they get out of their cars here, do their shopping, or they enter Woodland Square or whatever, and they're coming around, and they keep coming around the circle here of Woodland Square to get back out again. They're coming back down to this one way where they can't get out because the traffic it's a short road, and that short road is backing that up to the next intersection, which is backed up to the next intersection, which is backed up even into that intersection. So I've got a huge backup of traffic because people cannot get out of Woodland Square because the stoplights at these two short little intersections of road. And I probably wouldn't have a stoplight at this intersection if this main boulevard was not here. Probably. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but I probably would. So what I'm thinking of doing here as a solution is I'm going to stagger these small roads out. So I'm going to change these smaller roads, all of them, so that they go not in at the 90 degree that goes to the center. Even though that kind of looks cool in a way, it's not fulfilling the vision that I want there. We are going to go ahead and do some bulldozing and adjusting here. We're going to pause this so that we can readjust it. Make sure I got them all. Okay. All right. And I had done everything I could to try and fix it. See, I even play with Traffic++ here to try and get that fixed, and I just struck out. I couldn't, and you know, and I didn't think of looking at the traffic spotlight mod, the one that shows me where everyone's trying to go, until after I had done all this. And then I realized there was no amount of rerouting people here that was going to help. So we'll reset this intersection to its base, and now we will draw in our one-way roads at not the main boulevard sections, but at the next loops. Before I got a page up. Let's see here. Okay, that's an in, and that's a two-lane. These are two-way roads, so we can go in or out in any of these. This will be no problem. But I want to draw straight lines if I can. And I really don't want to create a bunch of traffic there. There's nothing really on this road. We're going to go ahead and delete this road. We're going to double check in some of these. Now this one here could get pretty hairy. I might have to do some work over there. This is a highway on. Okay, so we'll probably try and go right before the on. Say like right there. So that these guys, if they are coming to shop, have to go all the way around. There shouldn't be anybody on the highway coming into shop. So I'm probably okay there. So if I go in here, out here, I'd probably be alright. And you know, yeah, that should work. Okay, we're gonna give that a shot. So we're gonna find the center mass of. There it is, and is that the center? That doesn't really look right. Let me try and go. I think it's more like right here. So, I know these are 90-degree angles, so boy, it should be darn close to there, right? Yeah, it is. It is now. We're making that an in. Beautiful. No stoplights. So once the highway, see the highway's got stoplights here. But once the highway gets on, no stoplight, they can just keep rolling around. That should not cause any problems for that highway at all. Okay, so that's an in. We'll jump over here. Yeah, I want to put that. I kind of, you know, I really do want to kind of line them up so that this square does look kind of cool. These radials and things should all look really good here if I can do it right. Big if, of course. And that's going to be an in. Okay. Now I got to draw my two outs. This could get a little sticky here. Oh no, this is going to come out after that. So okay, so that will, oh, that's going to create its own stoplight then. So I think we're going to actually end up trying to meet this one. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. Wait. Yeah, that's the one I got rid of. Okay. I think that's the one I got rid of. Yeah, that's the one I got rid of. Okay. Okay, so that's the new in. That's the new in. Okay, I need a new out, and it's got to be right around here. We'll kind of see how that works. Yeah, because I don't want to create another set of stoplights on that big road. I really want this 6-lane road to run as smooth as possible, which is why I don't really mind this little corner, because it didn't create stoplights. But these exiting locations will. So, and that didn't hurt that road, did it? Yeah. See, they're not going to create lights on that road. But like the entrancing locations will, so gotta kind of watch those a little bit. That's a 2-lane, okay. This is the one-way on, so it created lights there. All right, we're gonna see if this helps a little bit. I think it will. I really do. Okay, so in, out, in, and I need to create an out up here. Ooh, into the trash. Great. Well, if I do that, that's going to increase the traffic along Trash Road. That doesn't really create any... We'll see what it does now. Yeah, now there's lights there. There's lights there. Well, let's give that a shot. We're gonna let that run now and see if that helps things out at all. Oh my God, we lost a lot of buildings there. Let's go through here and make sure we're all zoned up and okay. I know there's a little trauma there. Everyone's all excited now. Go through here and make sure everybody's rezoned. Yep, so I lost a few guys here like that. Get rid of that anyway. We'll rezone that. We're going to rezone this to office. It looks like it was office here at one point anyway. So we'll get the offices rezoned here, get the commercial rezoned here, and see if this really helps out that huge traffic problem we were having in the circle. And then hopefully here, at some point I'm going to put together the mass transit plan, and we'll start installing that. But I really want to get this, like I said last time, traffic doesn't bother me a whole ton, but what'll really be a bother is if we can't get it under control to some degree, so that mass transit is really in addition to, and not, you know, just like a band-aid for a problem. I really like my traffic to run as smoothly as I can for as long as I can. And right now we're only at 28,000 people, so really we should be able to, holy cow. This is what I was kind of afraid of here. And so that's going to have to move. Yep, that's going to have to move. You guys got to go find a different way in. I was kind of afraid of that going on there. So we're just going to come in a smidgen here before the interstate comes off like that, because it doesn't create lights. It's a non-issue for everyone else, but I don't want highway traffic trying to merge to the left to get onto that thing, and then because they already got, oh God, we got a backup here too. What's the deal? I did use the Traffic Plus mod to try and re-navigate the traffic to allow the on-ramp to get on, but now I'm really building up here. And it really must be this this traffic light. Well, I think I can turn traffic lights off. Maybe. If I know how. That'd be really helpful, actually. Maybe I can't. Well, as an experiment, let's take a look and see what happens with oh yeah. Okay. Oh, it cleared up. It cleared up. We'll have to keep our eye on that, though. That's happened before, so I really do want to watch that a little bit. Oh, I'm really getting a lot of traffic in here. This is the only major shopping district in our city, too. So for 28,000 people, this is it. They got to come here and shop. And I really think that the circular wheel design is kind of the way to do it. But I might be wrong. I know that obviously grids are far more efficient, but I really want to make this functional and fashionable. I think that this is kind of a good looking centerpiece to our city, and I want to make it work. So I'm going to keep trying different things to figure out how to make this a functional place here. Again, we're getting the traffic stack here. See, now we're on the 2-lane roads. The traffic is stacking up, and that's a little bit easier on the system, to be honest, than it was on the itty-bitty one-ways stacked in here. We're still getting traffic buildup in here. Oh yeah, we are. Holy smokes. Quite a bit. Man. What do you do? Maybe I make that square bigger and I make that the on, because maybe it's these short roads like this that are really giving me the headaches in there. And that very well could be. These are short 2-lane roads. And these are short one-way roads. And so they're coming together and creating a problem, potentially, I guess. It's kind of a cool look, but it's not very functional right there. That's where our functionality is becoming a problem, I think. Is right. Yeah, I noticed the abandoned buildings. Thank you. It's right in that square around the edge, where the circle goes around the square. And see, now these guys are waiting to get out, and we got a backup. Though it seems to be moving. Okay. It seems to be moving. I'm not sure how well it's moving, but it does seem to be moving. Looks like I need a little bit more industry. Well, we've known we need some more industry, so this is not a shock to the system. I've done a lot of thinking about this. I am gonna leave this little manufacturing center here, part of Myrtle Park, kind of over there, and let it alone. I kind of decided to leave that. It looks nice over there, and I'm just gonna leave it. But we are going to stick to zoning offices in this area. Because offices don't care about noise so much. Pause that because we ripped down some power lines. I guess it doesn't matter. We have plenty of power in the city. But we can obviously re-navigate these a little bit better. And then get those out of the way. And let's lay down some offices. I don't want offices up here, remember? Be careful like that. There we go. We'll probably put some more offices in the middle, but that'll at least alleviate some of that industrial need. I want to get back to where I have residential need. Over here in the university, I did build a couple of 2x2 squares, and they came up and looked just like, modern style suites. So I think those look good. They're uniform. They look like they would be the dorms to our university, a high-end suite kind of style living that our university would have as a small private college, it looks like. So I was very happy with those. I'm going to let those live there. They look nice. There, yeah, I kind of killed the industrial need now with those, so that'll help a little bit. But working on this traffic. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do besides adding mass transit to my city here. I really want it to function really well. I want it to keep moving. The reason I'm getting abandoned buildings and burned down buildings, especially burned down buildings, is because of what was the major traffic issue in here I discovered. This is the only reason these commercial buildings were burning down, because I have this entire section covered in really what should be really good fire coverage. It's a little lax over here, but the circle should be covered well. And I don't know why that's so weak, but I thought I had it really good coverage, and I still do think I have good coverage, even though that's it's a little weak over here. So maybe I do add one more fire department, I guess, to cover that. Oh, that seems wild that I'd have to do that, but we'll drop one more in here. We'll put it right here at the right there. That should take care of them now. Come on. There you go. I mean, that's 3 fire departments for that little circle. Seems a little much to me, but I guess if they need it. Now we got to cover our industrial park down here. So we'll and to try and help the circle out a little bit, we'll also try and get in a place where we can add a little coverage to them. You see, we can help out on this side quite a bit here if we drop in the right place. And I think this is a pretty good location. That on-ramp is covered, or that highway is covered some, you know, a little bit. But I think this is a pretty good location here. So we're going to drop another fire department in here. That should bring all those guys up to snuff. How are you? How are you surviving here, sir? The Happy Face Travel Agency wants to burn down. He's trying to collect insurance. All right, so that should help fire coverage immensely in the circle again, as well. And it looks like we cleared that traffic up now. Nope, there it is. I knew it wasn't gone. But it looks immensely better. Like, it's night and day better than it was. Yes, because people are turning, well, we're starting to build up now out here, though. Maybe these 4 lanes are the problem. Maybe I need to make these one-ways to make this thing work. Because we could come in on a 2-lane one-way and then hit a one-way going left, a one-way going right, and then have ins and outs. Well, let's see here. Let me think here just a second. Left, in, right, in. No, that would not work very well. That would make it a little tough. But these are 2-lane roads. I should have no problem. Why is everyone turning left there? Yeah, it's really backing everything up now, right in this little corridor. So I moved the problem from over here, which is still, I still have the backup here. You know, it may be just telling me that I need buses. I guess maybe we reached the limit of these roads. And it's time for me to think about adding services here. The only reason I was delaying adding services for real, well, there's a couple reasons. One, like I told you, I want my city to be as functional as possible and handle as much traffic as it possibly can for as long as it can, because that'll give me an idea where my hotspots are. And obviously, this being the only commercial zone we have, that's become quite a problematic situation for us at this point. You know, if this was not our only commercial zone, we'd probably spread some of this traffic out. So maybe that's something we need to look into doing, I guess, is creating our, which is now a clean beach, into a nice little commercial area. We don't actually need those power lines. When we create this into a nice little commercial area, and this becomes a main street here as well, gives us, let's see what we got here. Yep, I got a 4-lane coming down that we're going to extend. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look what that would be like in the future for sure. Because this 4 lane's coming down here like this. Yeah, I think it would be really nice. All right. Well, I'm going to leave that big 4 lane there. I'm going to outline the commercial area we're going to build next time right along this beach. Should be really kind of cool, I think. Yeah, I don't want to build any bridges. There we go. I'm going to just straight drag this out a little bit further because that road is going to continue, and this one I want to join it at a strong 90 degrees too. 87.5, pretty good. Alright, and so there is, ooh, 1/2 of it. And I think this, how we look on these intersections here. Stop sign, yep, I'm going to go at that center one. So we're going to come back just a hair. This one is where the traffic comes off the highway. So then I'll be able to go right here. And I am going to create a little bit of traffic here now by doing this. But I'm going to come down right like this. Right like that. And if I want to, I think I can probably upgrade that whole section of road. Make that the 3rd line that's going to run into it. So that will be zoning out for commercial use here very shortly. That'll probably be our next go. I hope you enjoyed this episode of City Skylines. A lot of traffic renovation to work on. A lot of transport issues to look at. Our interstate interchange is working wonderfully. This is really going way better than I could have hoped. We have a really nice highway system here. This is all looking good. The interstate over here working smooth. No traffic backups except for in these further back sections. And those are minimal as far as what I'm concerned to look for traffic. So we are all looking good out here. And yeah, that's all looking pretty good. The on-off ramps are working excellent. Loving the tunnels. We got a little starting back up here, but not, like I said, minimal. I think it's really doing well. And we're going to start looking at where to build our transportation hub for bus depots and things of that nature next time, as well as looking at the commercial zoning and trying to spread out some of the love, because Woodland Square is just getting overwhelmed with 30,000 people. And we're starting to lose residents because they can't get shopping. They can't, it's just not going well. So I think that concludes this episode. I really rambled on in the conclusion here, but I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment below if you would like to. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, comrades, game on.